So if someone has racked up a lot of debt in their personal credit cards, can you pay that off with a business credit card?
Yeah, if you have a business credit card, and some of the beautiful things about setting up these is, I just did one a while ago because I wanted to go through some of the process of doing it, but I just got an 18-month 0% credit card. So I could move, if I had stuff over on my personal side, I could just do a transfer over, and it's at 0% because I just opened the account and it's there, and it gets off my credit over here.
Gotcha.
Some of the tricks, some of the roadblocks you come up against is you have everything on your personal side and it's keeping your score down. To get a business credit card, you probably need a good credit score. So you have to figure out a way to pay those down, pay those off. We've talked in other videos about we do usage loans, but you could do the same thing. Take your savings, pay them down, open up your credit cards, and then migrate the monies over there too. There's many options and many tricks to get your money from your personal side to your business side. But the first thing you need is the business credit cards open, available, and make sure there's a couple companies like Capital One that do report. So when you're looking at them, make sure it's not a reporting card. Typically your Chases, your American Expresses, a lot of the regional banks like here, BOK, Vectra. So there's a lot of regional banks too that offer really good incentives, US Bank, to businesses to get and take these out, because they want you to come in there. They want you to get your deposits and everything else. Another thing, like when I talk about all these business credit cards and stuff, when I talk to investors of setting things up, you go to the big banks to get your unsecured, your business credit cards, your unsecured lines, all that stuff, because they're the ones that's their business. That's what they love to do. You go to the smaller local banks to set up the relationships, because when you want to do somewhere down the line, bring on more rentals, or even get into having banks help you with flips, it's your local personal banks that'll help you. So when we're talking about these business cards, you're not going to be able to go to your credit union or bank, typically your local bank, and get the best rates and terms. You're going to have to go to the bigger credit card companies out there that expand the business credit cards into lines of credit too.
So it's utilizing that leverage in, different arenas. So the big banks are where you want to go for a business credit card or a line of credit, whereas the local banks are where you want to go to build relationships for loans.
Yep.
Okay.
And like I said, you could use these business credit cards for your growth, for your business, in bringing on more people, getting, office space, all that kind of stuff, paying your contractors, all of these little things that you could do to, you need so much money to grow a business. This is part of it, as long as you manage them correctly too. Anything else, if you don't manage this correctly, you're going to end up with a lot of unsecured debt that sooner or later, if you don't pay it, is going to show up.
Yeah. So it's not a free money situation, but it is one of those situations where you are not penalized for spending more, which makes perfect sense in a business context, that you need to sometimes spend more. You need to spend all the way up to your limit in order to cover those business expenses. So it's really great this exists. It's not going to report.
Yeah, we just, when we got one of our cards, we just got a bunch of software that cost us, one was $7,000 and one was like $5,000 or $6,000. And we had a 0% for 18 months. So we just put it on there because it's helping us grow. So it's like these cards used in right ways. And, we always say, keep a 0% card every year, apply for a different card and get the 0%. Because in the real estate business, if you're paying 29% on a card or 0% and you have $10,000 or $20,000 on there, it adds up.
Yeah.
And it helps you grow even more by not paying that interest. So manage your business cards correctly too. I always say, like, every year to 18 months, start looking for some other card out there that may benefit you, for the next 12 months to 18 months too.
Yeah. Don't be the reason that these cards make, good money. And they do. I mean, I hear my lazy side coming out when I'm like, I already have the card. I'm not going to reapply. But it's like, that is the only way you're really going to be just paying a ton, because those rates are high. We just said 20%, 29%.
Yep.
I mean, if you put those in terms of a loan, or something like that, you would that's terrible deal.
And that's, that's when you have to look at it from a different angle too. Like, if you could take $5,000 off a card to put down on a house that you're going to secure other investments off, and you're going to make $50,000, and you're going to pay 29% on that card for 6 months or a year. That's a business expense that it's going to cost you, $1,000 or so in interest, depending on how long you keep it. But that card allowed you to secure another property, then that makes sense. If you're just running up credit cards because you like taking everyone out for lunch and doing everything else, and it's not bringing in money, you're going to hit some headway.